Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. This is Movies TV Mad Live. I know England's playing. I don't expect many people to come into the stream tonight, but we are live. We are going to talk about Make the Batfleck movie and anything else you want to discuss tonight. So I am here. I've got a thumping headache. It is boiling still here in Cyprus. It's unbearable. So I'm going to try and be the most auspicious host that I can be. And you can tell I just whacked this top on quickly. So a very good evening to you. So can Make the Batfleck movie happen? Well, I believe the restoration of Ben Affleck's Batman is more realistic than restoring the Snyderverse because of Ben Affleck's good standing and relationship with the studio that is Warner Brothers. So he has got a good relationship with them. The fans are behind this, and we don't know what decisions been made within the Flash movie as well. That's very curious, by the way. People assuming that he will be deleted by the end of that movie. I've never been too sure about that. I think the studio are open to not shooting themselves in the foot. Why would you do it? Keep it as an option, even if you're not planning to, at this moment, make the Batfleck movie. But I think that script is beautiful. Compelling and seriously could be one, if not one of the best Batman films ever made. Because when you think about Deathstroke and what he's planning to do here, it could be one of the most compelling things I've ever seen. Now, we saw what Deathstroke did to Oliver Queen in Green Arrow, and I think this is a similar kind of story, but more darker, grittier, and compelling. And I think it's worth making this film, and I think it would be fantastic to see Ben star and direct it, if he's willing to do it. Of course, we can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to do. I believe Ben is up for it. I think he wasn't up for all this like a year or so ago when he went on that show and said, "I'm not Batman." But I kind of suspect that the passion of the fans and the turnaround in the mentality of the studio could be something that could turn Ben around to doing this. So I don't think Make the Batfleck movie is off the table. I think it's something that is possible. We're going to have to keep on hashtagging. John, evening, Mick. Good evening, John. I love the DC banner. We're talking about Make the Batfleck movie. Is it a possibility? Is it realistic? I think there's a chance of this happening. So people who want this to happen, don't lose faith. Of course, if you're from the UK and you're interested in England versus Germany, it's 0-0 at this point. England starting off slow in the first half, but coming into it and doing really well. I think England will score a goal. I think England will win this game. But this is not the best German side ever either, by the way. And if you're American and you don't understand soccer, I'm sorry, but yes, it's a very big day for us British people. England versus Germany is literally an international derby. So, yeah, a very important game for England, and let's hope they can get through and win it. But, yeah, getting back to making the Batfleck movie, I think it's a realistic thing. I think that the studio are not opposed to it. And Sarnoff may have said she's not going to release the haircut, but she never said anything about Ben Affleck's movie. Of course, she wasn't asked about that. But I do feel there's a future for Ben Affleck's Batman in this multiverse strategy. After all, it is a multiverse, isn't it? So why wouldn't there be a future for him? When Ben Affleck said he wasn't Batman, it's interesting. He's done some sequences for Snyder in the Snyder Cut, and now he's done something really shocking. He's appearing in the Flash movie. Now, either he's been told and he said, listen, I want to finish my story off properly, and that's why he's coming back. Or maybe he's been convinced to keep on playing the Batman. John, I don't think Ben Affleck will be the main DCEU Batman. It's interesting. It's an interesting situation, actually, John, because, it's a very difficult thing to gauge because if not Ben, who I know a lot of people are saying Michael Keaton, It's interesting. As I say, it's interesting. That was the rumor, but those rumors have changed lately. I don't think it's off the table for Ben to remain the main Batman now. The reboot may create. If I was doing this, I would bring in a new, younger Batman to be the main Batman of the DCEU so we can have some longevity. But as I say, it is not off the table for Ben Affleck to continue in the DCEU after Flash. Now, I don't know what's realistically going on, if he's going to finish his story. That might be the motivating factor why he agreed to be in this movie. But I think anyone making big predictions could end up with egg on their face, because I don't think we can really gauge what's going on here. I really don't. I think it would be a fool, really, just to kind of write that situation off. We've seen so many things happen in the DCEU, and nothing's ever what it seems behind the scenes as well. So I'm very, very interested. Apparently, Linda Carter's making a big announcement later. I don't know what that's about. Maybe DCEU related, maybe not. John, we have got Robert Pattinson's Batman. Yes, he's an Earth 2 Batman, John. And there's no evidence, that he's not going to leave Earth 2 to be the central Batman. Now, he could play a big part in the Multiverse Justice League, but even if there's a Multiverse Justice League, people will still have their local central Justice Leagues. So, at the end of the day, just because he's the Batman, surely, I'm sure you understand that he's an Earth 2 Batman and he's not the central Batman. I think people don't understand what a multiverse actually is. A multiverse means many, many versions of the same character. So this solves a lot of problems for people who don't like one version but like the other. So yes, Robert Pattinson, we got Robert Pattinson's Batman in Earth 2, and Earth 2 is where he'll stay. Now, will he cross over to Earth 1 now and again? Maybe. It's a possibility. I'm sure he will. But Robert Pattinson being a Batman doesn't change anything. He's not Ben Affleck's replacement. Many, many journalists keep on saying this in their articles, and they are so wrong. He's an Earth 2 Batman. So, yes, we've got Robert Pattinson, but he has nothing to do whether or not Ben Affleck remains as Batman. So, as I say, don't give up hope if you're hoping for it of making the Batfleck movie, because I think it's a probability still. I think Ben would have been very, very touched by the fans fighting for his Batman. And as I say, the concept for the Batman movie is excellent. Batman versus Deathstroke. It would be very, very exciting. So, yeah, I'm not convinced it's the end. I'm not convinced it's the end. Sorry, I keep on looking for the England score. Still 0-0 apparently. So, yeah, I wouldn't write Ben Affleck's Batman off quite yet. But as I say, none of us really know what's going on. So it's really foolhardy to say, oh, yeah, well, this is not happening. That's happening. We don't know what's happening. In truth, we know 5 films are coming. We know some HBO Max projects are coming. And that's that. We know nothing more than that. But it's one of these things that, see, the Flash movie is interesting because nobody really knows how this film's going to play out. All we've been told is that Barry goes to the past to save his mum and creates kind of an alternate universe. We know he's going to reboot the universe at the end of the movie. The Machetes already told us that, and that things will never be forgotten, but things will change. That's all we really know. Now, through that information, we've all kind of made big assumptions. But it doesn't mean those assumptions are true. Assumptions are great and fun to theorize about these things, but nobody really knows what it means, what after Flashpoint really means. Nobody knows that. So it's interesting. We've already heard rumors of Grant Gustin being involved in The Flash, which is a predictable thing for me. I always predicted that he would be involved in that movie. I know that Ben Affleck rewrote the segments of his script and his role in the film that Christina Hodgson wrote. So that's interesting as well. So, well, I'll be very intrigued to see what kind of things he rewrote. I heard rumours that he rewrote the whole movie, which is interesting. Don't know how true that is. I mean, Christina Hodgson hasn't got a great track record. I'm surprised she was allowed to do it. Now, Andy Muschietti reckons she wrote a great script, but then he would say that, wouldn't he? So it's all there to wait and see what we're going to get with Flash. Because I mean, someone today said, I can't remember who it was, but someone said today their most anticipated movie is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which is interesting. It's certainly a film that I'm looking forward to. But at the end of the day, if the Flash movie doesn't work, all these other films are pointless, you know? So everything rests on that Flash movie. This is a big, big gamble that has to pay off for DC and WB. Otherwise, this franchise is over. And if it doesn't work, this is a bigger calamity than Justice League. So this has to work. I'm excited for the Flash movie and all these movies, but, well, everything is, every film, every producer, every kind of shareholder is banking on the Flash movie, starting off this multiverse strategy successfully. Failure is not an option. Yeah, I didn't think it'd be a great turnout tonight with the football on, unfortunately, but I thought I'd give it a go. So if you want to comment about Make the Batfleck movie or anything else you want to talk about, please chime in. As I say, it's really hot out here. So, yeah. Yes, it's a dead stream, isn't it, really? It is a dead stream tonight. No live stream can survive without an audience, I'm afraid. No matter how talky I am. There's literally zero DCEU news tonight. As I say, Linda Carter's teasing something, but probably not DC-centric, unfortunately, but I'll keep an eye on it for you. I'm quite sure Ronnie Dodge is watching the England match, being English. So he's not here, and I think that's why he's not here. So probably not the best of ideas to do a stream during an England game, is it? But there you go. I gave it a try, didn't I? It would be very interesting if the Batfleck movie did happen, by the way. It's kind of interesting what the timeline is. So obviously, it's obviously it's after the Snyder Cut because we see Deathstroke talking to Lex, and Lex tells him in the Snyder Cut who Batman is. So that bleeds into the Batman. So the Batman would be the next movie after that. So I think that's the timeline of that. I think it's unfair that film never got made on Ben Affleck because I think he could have done something really special. He is a great director. He is a great writer, and he's an even better actor as well. He did a really good job in BVS, and I feel, you never know. It could happen. It's oh so quiet. It's up to you. Ooh, I've got a thumping headache tonight. Oh, I've got a like. Who's liked me? One like is better than none, everyone. Don't mock it. John, a lot of people are hating on Aquaman 2 because of Amber Heard is in the movie. Yes, I know there's a trending petition, John. Listen, this is a big thing. Obviously, people know about this situation. They've heard the recording. You know, we know that Johnny Depp placed the device during a conversation with Amber Heard to protect himself. She said some things. People do not believe her side of the story. But at the end of the day, I don't care about this. I don't care about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's marital problems. Obviously, they're divorced now. I'm surprised so many members of the public are so interested. People can hate on the movie, John. I said it on Twitter yesterday. You know, people can petition and say this and do videos and do that. By the time December 2022 comes, no one's going to give a shit about that situation. People will flock to watch this movie. People are excited. There may be a few hundred people who don't come in for the movie, but I think we all understand that means that their little boycotts and petitions won't come to anything. Even the people saying they won't watch it will watch it. So, yeah, I know people are hating on Aquaman 2, but it makes very little difference. The film will be highly anticipated and will be a success. People are excited for these DC movies, and I understand people's frustrations, but at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't care that she's in this movie. I've said before, there's a high probability that actually she may get killed off Mira in this movie just to keep the peace. That's maybe a compromise that WB will make, so they don't say they actually sacked her. So we'll have to look out for that as well. And that is a possibility. Obviously, Mira is a very important character in Arthur Curry's Aquaman's life. So let's see what happens. She's there. They could have easily recast her, and they decided not to. So they don't want to bow down to the pressure of the hold, the gang. I understand why. So at the end of the day, listen, that is not part of this film. You know, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp had a very ferocious relationship. I believe they both took chunks out of each other, allegedly, both as bad as each other. And once they split up, Johnny Depp should have walked away from the situation and not try and, prove that she's a bad person and he's a good person. It was never going to happen. Ben Pottimer, I really hope Ben changes his mind because of new people in DC and maybe allowing him to do a movie how he wants. Get a proper standalone movie. Well, listen, he agreed to do the extra footage for Snyder's movie. He's agreed to be in the Flash movie. So it could be probable, Ben, that he already has changed his mind. Now, he could have agreed to be in the Flash, as I said earlier, so he can wrap up his story. Or this could be an opportunity to continue his presence as the Earth 1 Batman. Nobody really knows. I certainly don't know. And anyone who says they do know doesn't. John, at the end of the day, it's about the movie characters and not the actress or actor. That's it. It's nothing to do with us. It's nothing to do with us. Johnny Depp fans are very angry, and I understand that. But Johnny Depp should have left well enough alone after they split up. He's really done this to himself. She's been a very, very formidable opponent. You do not mess around with people like this. She obviously is very ambitious, and she knows what she's doing. Now, let's see about the England score. Still no score. Still no score. England 0, Germany 0. I predict a 1-0 England win, although most probability we're going to extra time and penalties. So, yeah, this Amber Heard hatred will carry on. As you can see on Twitter and Instagram, she's got her comments turned off, and I don't blame her for that. I'm very nice to her and very supportive to her because I like her version of Mira, and I want her to do it as well as possible. And I don't really think it's my place to start attacking someone over their personal lives. At the end of the day, we don't really know the situation. I think they both took lumps out of each other and they should both gone their separate ways. and not carried this on. And, you know, she was willing to go her own separate ways, but Depp wanted to continue this. And it's, you know, it's ridiculous. But people will get involved. This is about politics. This is not about Johnny Depp. This is women versus men. And this is why these people are obsessed with this story. But their boycotts will have very, very little effect on the movie. Six viewers, one like. That's not a good ratio, is it? I feel like shit. I feel like shit. I think I'm gonna faint. Ain't. So if you are interested in the England score, I will keep you updated. I'm sure you're keeping an eye on it yourself. Come on, England! Two likes. Somebody felt guilty. Don't be shy. Put up a comment. Let's have a discussion. It's so hard when there's no news. It really is. It's so difficult, isn't it? Especially if you don't have many on the stream and there's not many comments. Really challenging, really challenging. And it can end up being boring for the viewer and the YouTuber. I was talking about Superman Returns this morning. Was it David Meyer Burnett? Is that his name? He had an interview with Bryan Singer. So I discussed that this morning. So if you want to check that out, you can. A very interesting movie, Superman Returns. In the pantheon of Superman live action, we of course saw Brandon Routh in last year's Crisis on Infinite Earths, or the year before, I think. John, I love the final battle in X-Men 3. Oh yeah, they're all there, isn't they? They're all there. It's amazing. And it's so emotional between Jean and Logan as well. Brilliant. I don't really know why people don't like that movie. I think it's pretty cool. I think it would have been better if Singer did it, but I still think it was a good movie. Ben Pottimeyer, Robert. Oh yeah, Robert Meyer worked on Superman Returns, right? Yes. He catalogued the documentary for the movie. Yep. He worked very closely to Bryan Singer. I was very surprised he got him on the phone. Very surprised. It was very late here when I was watching that. And I thought he was just going to talk about the movie. But he actually got Bryan on the phone. And I mean, it was very interesting to listen to the interview. It was great. Bryan does not want to do a director's cut. I think he's wrong. I think the Return to Krypton sequence should be on that movie. Yeah, not David Meyer Burnett. Robert Meyer Burnett. Double-barreled names. Oh. Kavari looks like that Aquaman is shooting in Alaska. Why? I don't know if it is in Alaska. I saw some snow there, but I haven't had any kind of information about Alaska. But you'll probably find that's probably a beginning sequence or a flashback of the Lost Kingdom. Maybe, Kavari. But there could be so many reasons. And I mean, theorize on the chat and let me know what you think. I think it's to do with the Lost Kingdom. A very exciting movie. I think we were always going to get one about the Lost Kingdom. I think they kind of considered doing that in the first movie, then realised it was too soon. This should be a very, very good film. Don't rob yourself of the opportunity to see this film because you don't like Amber Heard. It would be so churlish. Goal news from Wembley. England 1, Germany 0, 75 minutes gone, 15 minutes remaining. Can England do it? That's an amazing scoreline coming from Wembley. England winning 1-0 in the European Championships. I said 1-0, didn't I? Ryan, everything's canon, cinematics. I would love to have Batfleck back, but I would also like to give Pattinson a chance. Well, Ryan, I mean, it's all in your title, isn't it? Everything's canon. A multiverse means you can have it all. That's the point. So by Ben Affleck coming back, right, it doesn't mean you're not giving Robert Pattinson a chance. He's in Earth 2. Affleck's in Earth 1. So you can have both. That's why they're doing this in the first place. Bobcat, hey Mickey, good evening, Bobcat. Ben Pottimer, is James still directing too? James Wan. Yeah, James Wan's directing. He's just started directing it, Kavari. Kavari, could it be Ice Kingdom? Oh, sorry, let's start again. Ben Pottimer, is James still directing Aquaman 2? Absolutely. Kavari, could it be an Ice Kingdom? Well, it could be, yes. It could very much be an Ice Kingdom. Or it could be some kind of, you know, they could be doing something as part of the story in the North Pole. Who knows? Ryan, everything's canon cinematics. Exactly. John, I wonder who will the villain in Aquaman 2 be? Interesting. We do not know about that. Bobcat, press is starting for the Suicide Squad. Oh, yes. Very exciting. Bobcat, also new merch was leaked. Awesome. It's all happening, isn't it, Bobcat? That's what we want. Ben Pottimer, are they doing Trench spin-off? No, the Trench is not happening now, but I do expect the Trench to be used in the sequel. So don't worry about that. I think they're going to amalgamate those ideas. So for some reason they didn't want to do it. There could be a bigger spin-off idea. I think we're getting a Black Manta spin-off for HBO Max, and that's what I've heard. Bobcat, also, I really like BVS LOL. Should we talk about BVS, Bobcat? Bobcat, I watched it again. Good man, you see. You see, I turned you around, didn't I? Listen, Man of Steel, I love Man of Steel, and BVS is a great continuation. What I love, you know what I would love, Bobcat? And a lot of us fans have said this, actually. Put Man of Steel and BVS into one movie. Take out the credits, right? Just put it as one movie, because BVS and MOS are literally one movie, really. And I love the way in the opening sequences we see the Battle of Metropolis through Batman's point of view, Bruce Wayne's point of view. I think it's a great touch by Zack Snyder. It's a great movie. It really is. Not for everyone, I admit that, but it's brilliant. One New England, everyone. Are there any British people here interested in the football? England are winning 1-0. I'm guessing if you're here with me, you're not interested in the football, right? I chose you over the football, over my country of the UK. Just remember that. Bobcat, it was really good. Kavari, I would love an action sequence in the icy environment. Oh, yeah, me too. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Bobcat, new Loki tonight. Yes. Obviously, for me, it's tomorrow. So looking forward to that. What's your favourite bit of BVS then, Bobcat? What's your favourite sequence? Sanders and Reviews, Twitter are doing justice for Johnny Depp because Amber is in Aquaman 2. Doesn't matter, Sam. Doesn't matter what Twitter do. Amber Heard is in Aquaman. And I, for one, will not be boycotting a movie or attacking a young woman when I don't have all the evidence. Basically, these two, as I've already said tonight, took lumps out of each other. Johnny Depp should have went his separate ways and forgot all about her. This is not helping anyone. All it's done is destroyed his career. You know, this is a young woman, obviously, who's quite good at fighting the good fight. And at the moment, she's won. But it doesn't interest me, Sam. All I'm interested is in these DC movies. So I am not going to abuse her, and I'm not going to boycott the movie. So, and what they're doing will not affect Aquaman one little bit. John, some of my favourite scenes in BVS is the Batmobile scene and the warehouse scene. The Batmobile scene, I love it, and the warehouse. Bobcat, that whole chase scene was incredible. So honestly, I love it. I watch it on its own sometimes. I literally choose that chapter because obviously you can see I've got it in 4K. Bobcat, also the warehouse scene, just wow. Yeah, it's so good, isn't it? So good. You know, the guy can direct action and visually stunning things. I love the nightmare sequence. I think it's great. Kavari, why didn't Twitter go after Amber when she was in the Snyder Cut? That's interesting, isn't it? Bit of hypocrisy there. Don't forget, it's actually Zack Snyder. If there's any Snyder fans in here, Zack Snyder cast Amber Heard and he brought her back for reshoots in the Snyder Cut. Just remember that. Don't be hypocritical. Dave Ethan, hey, oh, I'm a friend of your son's, Batman, BVS. Brilliant. I love that scene. Kavari, BVS is not a good movie to me. Yeah, well, not to you, and that's fair enough, but there are those of us who enjoy it, and it's not for everyone, and I admit that. Bobcat, also, Batman standing there with the bat symbol. Oh, yeah, that's awesome, isn't it? Sam Hughes, have you heard of Comic Book Cast 2? He said fans are demanding a Batfleck movie. Yes, I have heard of Comic Book Cast 2. I do follow them. There was obviously a massive Twitter event the other day, and that's what they're talking about. And we were talking about that, Sam, before you came in, if it's a possibility. And I said, I think it is. John, Batman is savage in BVS. Oh, yeah, he's savage. He's definitely savage. Sam Hughes, wasn't Dolphin supposed to be in Aquaman 2? Dolphin? You mean Dolph Lundgren? I don't know whether he's in it or not. Ben Pottimeyer, BVS goes over most people's heads. People hate what they don't understand exactly. BVS is a masterpiece, in my opinion. Bobcat, him grappling off the building and the lighting striking. Oh yeah, brilliant, isn't it? There's, you know, the Batman stuff's amazing in that film. It really is. There's a lot of great moments. I mean, my favorite, one of my bloody hell, my throat. But one of my favorite moments in BVS is when Superman goes to the kind of the Day of the Dead thing and saves that child, and all the media are talking about him and everything. And I think the music and everything, it really pumps upon my heart. Kavari, I think Batfleck wants out the Batman role. He wants to move on. It's interesting for someone who wants to move on. He did additional scenes for the Snyder Cut, and he agreed to return to Flash movie as well. So that's interesting, isn't it, Kavari? Dave Ethan, Bobcat, a great callback to The Dark Knight Returns. Oh, yeah, the film is full of it. Snyder loves that. And, there's blatant Dark Knight Returns imagery. Fantastic. Bobcat, still not a big fan of the branding or use of guns, but it's whatever. I still enjoy it. Yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Because I don't read Batman comic books, I'm okay with it, to be honest with you. I didn't even know it was controversial because I haven't read the Batman comics, but I think I always thought if anyone's going to carry a gun, it would be Batman, but clearly he's never carried a gun in the comics. Ryan, everything's canon cinematics. Yeah, I remember that casting. BVS is the greatest DC movie ever. Definitely one of them. I really, really like it. Bobcat, exactly at Dave Ethan. As a Batman fan, I appreciate it a lot. John, would you say BVS is more of a Batman or a Superman movie? Well, this is the misunderstanding that everyone has, and it is part of this either-or generation. BVS, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, is both a Batman film and a Superman film equally, in my opinion. Kavari, I think Batfleck will die in the Flash. Even Grace said he wants to move on. Grace doesn't know nothing. Grace doesn't know anything. Don't listen to that woman. Sometimes she's got good takes, but she gets it wrong with DC. She's got two things. The Willie in the Diamond, right? She got that wrong in Birds of Prey. She said Wonder Woman 84 would have a flashpoint. It didn't. So don't listen to her. We do not know what's going to happen. We don't. He could be deleted in Flashpoint in the reboot, but he could continue as Batman. Nobody knows. Bobcat, he did in the very beginning, but they changed that, and it's a big part of his character. Sam Jan reviews, BBS is a Batman movie. Superman only has 20 lines. Listen, mate, I don't know how many lines you've counted, but it's irrelevant. It's not just the lines someone has. It's how often they're in the movie. Superman, let's get this right. Superman's in this movie. Clark Kent's in this movie. Same person, right? It's both a Superman, Clark Kent, Batman, and Bruce Wayne film equally. You internet people love counting how many lines people speak. I hate stat pads. I hate stat pads. Stat pads always spread false narratives. So I disagree with you, Sam, very passionately. Bobcat, I wouldn't go as far as to say BVS is the best DC movie, but I did enjoy it. Kavari, I would take the first Suicide Squad over BVS. I loved the first Suicide Squad film, but I don't think it's a better movie than BVS. But again, it's all about opinions, Kavari, isn't it? Goal news! Oh my God! England 2, Germany 0. This is sensational. I didn't fancy this German team. They're just not one of the great German sides. But wow, this is sensational. Ben Pottimara, I bet your parents told you you were sent here for a reason, that you mean something. My parents taught me a different lesson, dying in the gutter for no reason at all. Ben Affleck, best Batman. He's not my favourite Batman, but I do appreciate him as Batman. Dave Ethan, this is my world. You are my world. Oh, breaks my heart. You know when those idiots were saying, why doesn't Superman let Wonder Woman fight Doomsday and take the kryptonite to him? Superman would never do that. He would never allow someone else to be in danger. He'd rather do it himself. This was his job. As he said, this is my world. Finally, he accepted the Earth as his home. You are my world. That's the point. It's about his sacrifice. His sacrifice changes everything for Batman. This is both a Batman and a Superman movie for that very reason. John, before BVS, people thought Ben Affleck as Batman was going to be bad because people have a reaction before they sample the goods. Kavari, Batman Martha, why did you say that name? Kill me now. Sorry, Kavari, it's up to you to laugh. It's up to you to have an opinion on that. But it's a really brilliant moment, an emotional moment. I mean, I suppose the MCU generation really wouldn't understand and feel that emotion of Batman seeing Superman has a human mother. And that means something. But I mean, unfortunately, when you're from a generation of movies about Easter eggs and cameos and nothing really intelligent, Ronnie Dodge Gig, hey Mick, England is 2-0 up against Germany. I've been keeping up with it, Ronnie. Fantastic news. I've been keeping the score and everyone updated. Very exciting. Can we win this? When you're playing all your games at Wembley, you've got a chance. A bit unfair, really, but we don't care. We're winning. Bobcat, I would and I wouldn't. Didn't like the Harley and Joker dynamic, but I liked Margot. Joel, Will, Viola, and Jay's performances were great. I loved that first film. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. I think I love the Batman and Deadshot stuff, especially when his daughter stops him from killing Batman. I think that's a beautiful moment. Ronnie Dodge Geek. Hey, Bobcat. Bobcat's had a change of heart, Ronnie Dodge. He now loves BVS. Ronnie Geek, having a bad day. What's wrong, my friend? I'm having one of those, but what can we do? What is up? Bob, Cat Martha works, and it doesn't, in my opinion. I think it works totally for me. I don't think it's that confusing or that hard to grapple with. You know, obviously, listen, maybe it's a bit silly that he calls his mother Martha, but he's calling her Martha to Bruce because he doesn't know her as mum. Bobcat, what's wrong, mate, at Ronnie Dodge Geek? Ben Pottimer, when you see Nightmare Superman and he says, she was my world and you took her from me, it didn't make sense until his sacrifice when he said, you are my world, to Lois. Exactly. That's the whole point, isn't it? It's foreshadowing, my friend. Karari. So they stopped fighting because both their moms' names were Martha. That's called incompetent, lazy writing and poor plot points. No, sorry, Kavari, the MCU generation of cameos and, the MCU created time travel in Endgame, which is the worst thing ever, by the way. No, that's not the reason they stopped fighting. You're not using your brain, Kavari. They stopped fighting because Ben Affleck's Batman realizes for the first time that this is a good person. with a mother, just like he had a mother. And he doesn't want Superman to lose his mother as well. That's the point. It snaps him out of it. Ronnie Dodge Geek, just the law being corrupt. My friend is being done for something he hasn't done. Oh dear. Ronnie Dodge Geek, done. Bobcat, I know, but I like Martha though because it's fun to make fun of. I love the film, but that's one of its flaws. That's your opinion, Bobcat. Many of us feel that's not a flaw, but a compelling moment. But as I say, I can understand why this generation of moviegoers who are being doused with Easter eggs and cameos and, hey, the MCU's created time travel when they haven't, maybe don't understand the gravitas and emotion and compellingness of that scene. Sam Hughes, did you see the trailer for The Many Saints of Newark? I didn't know. John, the best line in BVS is, do you bleed? You will. I like that line. Bobcat, he's been arrested, Ronnie Dodge Geek. Kavari, BVS has a lot of cheesy lines. No, not in my opinion. The MCU has a lot of cheesy lines, though. Ronnie Dodge Geek, yeah, but gonna come on here to cheer me up. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Ben Pottimer, the last thing his dad says is Martha when Superman says save Martha. He remembers not being able to save her. Then Lois says it's his mother's name. Then he realizes he's a man with a mother. Yeah, I think you have to be a simpleton. Either you're not in touch with your emotions or it hurts you to be in touch with your emotions. I don't really get it. I always thought it was MCU fans creating a situation there because they were intimidated by the movie. Dave Ethan, the only film I remember that created time travel is Back to the Future. Exactly, Dave. Ronnie Dodge Geek, is England feeling all right? We're beating Germany. They're a hard team. No, they're not one of the best German sides. They're all right, but I noticed in their last game, the last group game, they were a bit dodgy, my friend. So I'm not surprised. And as I say, when you're playing all your games at Wembley, you know, this is a great opportunity and Southgate's going to get a lot of plaudits. And those people who slaughtered his team, me, one of them, are going to get slaughtered as well. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Bobcat, I think I've made it clear. The MCU isn't my favourite. It just didn't work for me. Personally, the Martha thing, I get it. Like, I understand where it comes from. It's a little funny. We've obviously got different senses of humour. Kavari, let's not talk about that fake Doomsday and the over CGI third act. Just blonde and boring. Sorry, Kavari, I don't agree with you. The CGI is beautiful, stunning. He's a great version of Doomsday. He's not the iconic Doomsday, but he works for me. Ronnie Dodge Geek then saw F9 today. What did you think of it, Ronnie? Kavari, Lex Luthor was trash. No, just a very different version. Sam Hughes, have you heard of the YouTuber Tex? He did a new video about DC Movie Twitter. No, but you can tell me about it. What happened? Or is he talking about DC Snyder Twitter? Bobcat, me and that girl are getting along fantastically. Just as an update, nobody asked for Lowell. Congratulations. Sam Design Reviews, you need to watch Tech's video about someone saying Zach's ghost directed Wonder Woman. Well, actually, Sam, he may be talking about me because I said, it's not his ghost, I said that Zach ghost directed Wonder Woman 1, the first one, because it's so Zack Snyder. Ghost directed means he directed it in secret. Ronnie Dodge Geek, it's okay, but the space stuff is about over the top. Even my dad, who's a massive fan of them movies, agrees. Yeah, it sounds nothing more than solid, doesn't it? Bobcat. Oh, for Christ's sake. I hate when I have to miss people's bloody... Lex Luthor just would have preferred him as Riddler, if anything, or a different character. I love the performance, just not that he was Lex. Yeah, he's an Elseworld Lex, isn't he? He's a different Lex. I suppose you can have a different version of Lex. So I was interested in what he did there. And it was a very interesting character beat. And you certainly felt his hatred for Superman which is very, very blatant in the comics. Kavari, I'm just glad Snyder isn't a part of the DC franchise anymore. John, does Ben Affleck have a good relationship with WB? He has a very good relationship. He's got a few projects coming in the future with them. Ben Pottimer, just like how people get mad because of the next step, but did said he will never stop, and he had to save the humans, even though he's killing the last Kryptonian. That's a hard choice and thing to deal with. Ronnie Dodge Geek, Kavari, I do agree that DCEU is going in places now and attracting general audiences. Richie Moe, go on England. Wow, expected that after the first half. Yes, this is not the best German side, and I knew that from their last group game. And as I say, when you're playing all your games at home, and I don't really understand how that happened, you got half a chance. So let's see how they get on in the next round. But it's a great result for today. But I also wouldn't get too carried away about it. Ronnie Dodge Geek, first half was a bit sloppy from England, playing like a bunch of old ladies. I think the initial 10-15 minutes, it was Germany's, but then slowly but surely they came into the first half and they were doing some good things. And I kind of got the impression that the Germans were just playing on the counter, and it was the wrong decision. But not one of the best German sides anyway. People should understand that. Ben Pottimer, you read a question, then skim over them, then start talking about German football. Listen, Ben, I'm British. I'm going to be talking about football if I want to. I read a comment, and if there's anything to say about it, I'll say it. If there's nothing to say about it, if you ask me a question, Ben, I'll answer it. If you're just making a statement that's not particularly has much of a conversation to it, then I'm not going to talk about it. But please don't criticize me for talking about my country's football team. I mean, this is my YouTube channel. Kavari, you and I know that Zack Snyder is divisive and polarizing director. He is. But I like his DC movies. John, I do think we will get the Ben Affleck Batman movie. I agree we got a chance. Richie Moe, what's the subject, Mick? Please, can I have a recap? I'm shattered from workload. Glad to see you, Mick. Glad to see you, Richie. We've just been talking about the Batfleck movie and the possibilities. Bobcat, confidence is key, seems like. Ronnie Dodge Geek, Ben, not everything is Snyder or CBM's, just saying. I think when someone's got their own YouTube channel, Ronnie, they can talk about what they want. Ben Pottimer, no criticism, just trying to make conversation go along. Bobcat, hey, Richie Moe. The best way to make the conversation to go along is talk about what you want to talk about. I always read your comments, unless I miss it when it's gone up, which I don't get enough comments for that to happen. And if there's something to say about it, if I have nothing to say about it, there's nothing to say about it. Richie Moe, it's Mick's channel and I'm a regular and we're both Brits and it was one comment. Bobcat, you're more than welcome to talk about football, mate. It's your channel. I think it's very interesting. Well, obviously, you're all here for DC and I appreciate that. But it's a big game tonight and I made the decision to sacrifice watching an important game to do this video. So, Ronnie Dodge Geek, going to make a video on an F9 review. Awesome. Richie Moe. Hey, Bobcat. Hope you're doing well today. For example, Richie Moe said, hey, Bobcat. Hope you're doing well today. Well, I can only read that. What am I going to say about that? Do you understand? If you talk about a big DC talking point, of course I'm going to talk about it because I'm interested in DC. That's why I'm here. Bobcat, I am Richie Moe. Thanks for asking. How are you? Ronnie Dodge Geek, I made a video the other day on the flash set pics. Awesome. Sam's Reviews, have you heard of the guy, Andrew Sedino? He's a DC fan, but he is toxic. Then I'm not interested in him. Richie Mo, and I respect you for that, Mick. You're always here for us when you can, of course. Twice a day, the Movies TV Mad Daily has been shit for news recently, and they've been dead streams, to be honest, but what can we do? Richie Mo, and I respect you for that, Mick. You're always here for us when you can. And I feel like shit. It's 40 Celsius out here. John Ben's Batman movie was going to have a Deathstroke and a Batgirl in it. Yes, very exciting. The Deathstroke stuff is very, very interesting to me. Deathstroke was going to destroy him, put him in prison. It was going to be an amazing movie. Bobcat, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day for us, mate. You've helped me in more ways than one. I appreciate that. I'm here to help, as well as talk about DC and football and women and anything else. One of the great things of a small channel like this, everyone gets their comments read out. Richie Mo, I'm okay, bit tired, and had to make 3 tons of concrete in a little mixer. You didn't bury someone with it, did you? Lol, boring, really. Would rather be watching the new Suicide Squad. Ronnie Dodge Geek, see Andy Signor trying to get people to boycott Aquaman 2 because of Amber. How desperate is that? Sad person. It's not going to work. It's not going to work, Ronnie. I've already spoken about Amber tonight, and it's not going to work. She won, like it or not. Bobcat, some of the people in this chat are starting YouTube channels. We should all do something together one day, Lowell. Yeah, that would be fun. We can do a crossover. Same time views. He's the guy who loves Batman and Robin, bashes Nolan MCU, and praises Snyder. Does he look like an Indian guy? Years ago, I had this guy who used to follow me. He used to really, really hate Christopher Nolan. But he looks kind of Indian. Bobcat, I'm not boycotting Aquaman 2. Me neither. Aquaman 2 doesn't mean I agree with Amber, just I'm not letting that affect my fiction. Well, do you know what, Bobcat? I don't disagree or agree with her. I just simply don't care. I've said it before. Both those people took lumps out of each other, allegedly. They both should have gone their separate ways. She was willing to do that. He wanted to prove his innocence. He should have left it alone, and he'd still have a career. He's the one who's made the mistakes. I'm not saying she's the Archangel Gabriel. Neither does she have to be. Nobody is in the industry. If we boycotted every film because there was a shitty person in it, right, then we wouldn't watch anything, right? Ronnie Dodge Gig, I like my logo for my channel not being cocky, lol. I like it too. Bobcat, 100%. I think they both were wrong. I think, you know what? I've not really thought about it, Bobcat. It just doesn't affect my thinking. I just don't care about their relationship. And I'm quite willing to have sex with Amber Heard if she's interested. And I'm quite happy to date her. And I like the fact she's a bit of a bad girl. That actually excites me. So I don't give a shit. Richie Mo, for newcomers and viewers, Mick, always reads your comments and has time for each of us, whether we love DC or Marvel or anything else. It's a great channel to connect. Thank you very much. Ronnie Dodge Geek, not boycotting anything. There's more cast than Amber Heard, and he loses appeal. So I just don't care. I literally don't care. I'm not passionate about the Amber Heard thing. I certainly wouldn't attack her. In fact, you've probably noticed I have a joke with her, and I like to retweet her. Buck, I honestly just don't let any drama affect my fiction. Exactly. John, have you seen the Tenet movie? Do you know what, John? I haven't. I tried watching the opening 10 minutes and I was really tired that day and fell asleep. I need to watch it, but at the moment with this heat and everything that's going on here, I just don't have the time, but I really want to see that movie. Richie Mo, I've seen Chris Wong's video title saying Aquaman 2 is off to controversial start that he's talking about, Mick. Richie Mo, I've seen Chris Wong's video title saying Aquaman 2 is off to controversial start. What's he talking about, Mick? Basically, Richie, he's talking about Amber Heard and the boycott. I mean, listen, I like Chris. He inspired me to start my channel, as some other people did as well. I used to really enjoy his channel and what he does. I think he's obviously gone down the sensationalist route, which is a shame. It's very, very dishonest to say that, isn't it? When it's not actually, nobody cares. The DC fans are excited about that movie. No one important or relevant is going to boycott it, and that's the end of it. So I like Chris. I don't have anything personally against him, but I think that was a little bit unprofessional to do a title like that. Ronnie Dodge Geek. It's a bit like the Ray Fisher versus Warner Brothers. Everyone jumped on Ray's side. There's two sides, and I can't wait for WB to get their side. Absolutely, and their side will be put out there just before the release of the Flash movie. Sam Hughes. He has so many YouTube channels, and they get terminated for trolling. Well, quite right too. Bobcat. Boba Fett's ship has been renamed into what? Titanic? Bobcat, I don't like Ping Pong Flicks that much. He's too biased. I think he's a nice guy. He's a family man and everything. As I said, he was one of the few people at the time when I discovered him who loved BVS and MOS and wasn't a Snyder hater. So he inspired me, and he inspired me to do my channel as well. I loved his commentaries on Man of Steel and BVS, but he's so successful now. He's gone down a different route, and it's disappointing, but these things happen. So no hate on Chris. I like Chris. He seems like a nice lad. But yeah, I don't really watch his videos as much as I used to. I still do now and again, because one of the things he does, he puts the headlines right at the end, so you keep on watching. But the old Chris Wong Svensson, the one who first started his YouTube channel, was top class. But I'm sure still a lovely man, and I wish him all the best. Ronnie George Geek. Bobcat, I used to like him, but not anymore. Bobcat, oh yeah, he's a nice guy, great man. He's become very biased. He is very biased because he's not really biased. He's just aiming towards an audience. It's business. It's showbiz, isn't it? Panto. Dave Ethan. As much as I want more of the Snyder's input to the DCU, I, for one, will not boycott any incoming future DCU movies. Neither will I. Richie Mo. I fought for the Snyder Cut since 2018, and I love Snyder's DC, but I also love every DC movie, and I'm not boycotting any of the new ones. Snyder had 3 magnificent movies, Imo, but it's time to move on. Yes, I kind of agree with that, but I wouldn't mind the Snyderverse being restored, and I certainly want the Batfleck movie to happen. Ben Pottimer. Chris Wong, of course, is biased. He tells us all the time. Do you know what? It's about audiences as well. He's actually a well-rounded DC fan. He actually likes a lot of DC. He grew up. He was named after Christopher Reeve by his parents, by the way, if you followed his channel enough. So he was a DC fan already, and I think he loves all of it. And I think he will be the first to the cinema to see the multiverse strategy, by the way. Richie Mo, hey out, Ronnie. Hope you're well. Ronnie's had a bad day. I've had a bad day. Sam's reviews. Do you watch Film Junkie? Me and Film Junkie had an argument about animated Snyderverse. He went to my YouTube channel, made fun of it, then he blocked me. And that was it. That was the end of that. Obviously, I'm a superior human being. Obviously, I'm better looking than the Film Junkie. He's got more subscribers, but mate, I've got a bigger yeah. So you enjoy your subscribers. I enjoy the elite life, eh? Kavari. Chris Wong is a crazy Snyder fanboy. Not necessarily. I think obviously he likes the Snyder movies. I wouldn't go so far as say he's a crazy Snyder fanboy though. Richie Mo. Do you watch Film Junkie, Mick? No, he blocked. We had an argument. He made fun of my YouTube channel. He blocked me, and now he has to live with the fact that I'm better looking than him and I have more sex with him, and I'm just a better all-round cooler dude than him. And all he's got over me is more subscribers, which doesn't really mean nothing to me. Ronnie Dodge Geek. So I don't watch Film Junkie anymore. No, I always found his videos boring anyway. Ronnie Dodge Geek. As I say, if I see anyone trying to boycott future DCU movies, I will be rewatching them even more. Sandra Reviews. Do you watch Jodie's Corner? I see him on Popcorn Planet, but I don't watch him on his channel. Ronnie Dodge Geek. Hey Richie, I'm okay. Sam Jam Hughes. Do you watch Film Gob? Not really. Now and again. Now and again he does a funny one I watch, but not really. Sam Jam Hughes. Have you seen the video where Film Gob rips the Snyder Cut paper on the Blu-ray? No. No. Bobcat, things are almost going too well with the girl. Awesome, don't knock it. Ronnie Dodge Geek, don't like Dave. It's a shame he gets Snyder on his channel. Yeah, well, Zach seems to go on the channels with the most toxic people. I don't know if you've noticed that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I say good luck to Davey Pienaar. I wish him all the best, but I am good looking. I am better looking than you, by the way. I do sleep with more women than you, so you can keep the subs. And you really think your YouTube channel's superior to mine? Good luck with it, mate. I don't need Zack Snyder on my channel. Dave Ethan, it appears that Film Junkie lacks the power of think. I think some people's heads is right up their backsides, my friend. And I think once they get successful, especially ordinary little dweebs like that, they can't handle it. So they get a little bit too excited. Kavari, I like the fact he takes on Ye Fisher, Jodie's corner. John, do you watch Tyrone Magnus? No. I may have done once or twice in the past. I find most of these YouTubers boring. They bore me. I'm sure I would bore them as well. But yeah, I used to like Chris Wong's Vengeance channel, though. It used to be really cool. Sanjay Reviews, I don't like Jodie's Corner. He said he likes Wonder Woman 1984 and likes Patty Jenkins when Zach casted Gal. Yeah, he's got a little friendship with Patty. She cuddled him at a convention once and he got all excited, didn't he? He doesn't really like Wonder Woman 1984. He's actually just saying that. I don't think many people like that film. Someone should do a video, a TikTok of that film, playing the Quantum Leap music over it. That would be very apt. Ronnie Dodge Geek, I'm going to get hate for this, even since Ray has been starting on Watermanda. I call him Cryball. Ooh, good name. Sam Zarius, do you watch John Campier? I used to watch John all the time, not so much now. I mean, obviously he knows bits and pieces about the industry, so he's interesting to watch. Ben Pottimer, damn, all this hate on other channels, lol. What's your favourite episode of Smallville Season 3? Oh, I think it's got to be Shattered. Michael Rosenbaum really pulls it out. Absolutely fantastic. But Season 3 is full of great episodes. Kavari, do you watch Point Dexter's Lounge? I don't. Ronnie Dodge Geek, I like Wonder Woman 84, but don't love it. Bobcat, I watch Magnus. I used to watch Magnum. Does that count? Dave Ethan, me and most of my Twitter mutuals love Wonder Woman 84. Fair enough. Kavari, Ronnie Dodge Geek, I agree. We're seeing for England. England, a dirty wear 101. Wonder Woman 84 is an okay movie. It's not a terrible movie, but compare it to the other movie. Sunshine Reviews, do you watch Andy Signal? Yes, I watch Popcorn Planet now and again when I'm having a cigarette on my balcony and I've got nothing better to do. Bobcat, I didn't like Wonder Woman 84 except Cheetah. I thought Wig did a good job. Different take, just like BBS Lex. I liked her performance. I didn't like her makeup. The Cheetah makeup was terrible, lazy. The eyeliner on the top looks like eyeliner. When does she get time to put that eyeliner on? No, sorry, I'm not having it. But I think Wig did a good job in the performance, and her character was interesting. John, did you ever watch Chips? I love Chips. John and Podge, yes. Sandan Hughes, do you watch Robert Meyer Burnett? Yes. I watched him interview Bryan Singer, the director of Superman Returns, via a phone call. It was really, really good to watch. And no matter what people say about Singer in real life, I love Superman Returns, and it was great to hear his thoughts. And I didn't know that Robert actually was involved with Superman Returns and even had a cameo. Kamari, Ray Fisher's still on Twitter calling Walter Hamada and WB abusive. Will he ever move on? What, has he done it again tonight? Bobcat, oh, the cheetah makeup sucks. I liked her performance, though. I agree about her performance. She's a good actor. She was let down by Jenkins, I'm afraid. That makeup was embarrassing, though. I'm sorry. Ronnie Dodge Geek, seeing the new Suicide Squad trailer on the big screen is amazing. DCEU is the best movie incoming. Yes, I'm very excited to go to the movie theatre and see James Gunn's The Suicide Squad in full. And you've probably noticed that James likes some of my stuff sometimes. Dame Ethan, speaking of my Twitter mutuals, one of them just seen a screener for Black Widow and thinks it was subpar. Yes, I can confer that. I've probably seen the same screener. Dame Ethan, word up, Ronnie. Basically, guys, about Black Widow. The most exciting thing about this for me was Taskmaster. Taskmaster was shit. Shit. So disappointing. This film, I don't know, honestly, right? No wonder they called it Avengers Endgame. It really was the end fucking game, wasn't it? Bobcat, if anyone has a problem with the Suicide Squad, then they can suck it. I think you should wait to watch it. I'm not saying you're not going to like it. I'm just saying it's best to watch a film. Ronnie Dodge Geek, Bobcat, yeah, agree. They can S my big. So you're showing off that you've got a big one, eh, Ronnie? Bobcat, the Suicide Squad looks so good, almost too good. Sandra Hughes, John Campion has a cameo in The Incredible Hulk. I didn't know that. John, have you seen the Cloverfield movies? I haven't. I'm not a very good movie YouTuber, am I? I used to watch Neighbours and Home and Away, though. Does that count? You know we belong together. Dave Ethan, everybody has a right to their opinion, Bobcat. Absolutely, Bobcat. You have a right to your opinion. And so do you, Dave. And so do I. It's just that my opinion is louder because it's my bloody channel. Bobcat, I heard some Harley plot leaks. Tell me and I'll tell you if they're true. Ronnie Dodge Geek, don't make me spit my drink out, Mick. Bobcat, of course, just joking around. Sorry, Ronnie, did you spit or swallow? Hang on a minute, I'm being hailed. Yes, Dad. Wow, you stuck around. What were we talking about? Right. Bobcat. Also, Weasel lives supposedly, but it's in the post-credit scene. Ronnie Dodge Geek. Bobcat, very interesting. I'm thinking her and Rick Flag have a thing in the movie as well. Bobcat, definitely Ronnie Dodge Geek. Bobcat, also, Peacemaker will supposedly kill Rick for his freedom, and then Bloodsport kills Peacemaker. John, have you seen the Harley Quinn animated series? I have. It's fantastic. You lot just were talking amongst yourselves, weren't you? Yeah, basically what happened is my dad needed the loo, so he wanted to be put to bed. Bobcat here. Yeah, scroll up, Mickey. Right. I can't do this scrolling very well. On the cheetah makeup sucks. Yeah, I can't. Bobcat, you may have to write some of this stuff again. Luna proposes and Harley doesn't like it, so she shoots him in the chest and then she's arrested. Jesus. For anyone avoiding spoilers, these are plot leaks I've heard. Don't know if they are true. Bobcat, I can't. I keep on messing up this scrolling. You may. So focus on the Harley ones. What did you say about Harley? Tell me about the Harley plot leaks. No, it's no good. I can't. Bobcat, that's when she then breaks out and kills all the guards and all of the other members come to save her, but she's already broken herself out. Sam Jam Hughes, I saw your house tour on Twitter. Awesome. Bobcat, also Weasel lives, supposedly. Right, I've read that one already. So let's. Bobcat, also Peacemaker will supposedly kill Rick for his freedom, and then Bloodsport kills Peacemaker. John, have you seen the Harley? I've seen that. Yes. Ronnie Dodge Geek, yeah. Is your Ronnie Dodge Geek, yeah. Is your dad okay, mate? Not really, no, but he's in denial. He should be in hospital. He's not listening, so there's nothing I can do about it, I'm afraid. Right, let's try and get focused now. Bobcat, I heard Harley is kidnapped and taken to Luna, and they have a romantic relationship until Luna proposes, and Harley doesn't like that. And they have a romantic relationship until Luna proposes, and Harley doesn't like that, so she shoots him in the chest, and then she's arrested and tortured. Bobcat, then Harley breaks out and kills the guards and escapes. Interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Where did you get these plot leaks from? Then Harley breaks out and kills the guards and escapes. Bobcat has source. I have a friend who works in the industry. Interesting. Mm. Mm. So many leaks, isn't there? Well, you'll soon find out on August the 6th, won't you? Bobcat. Also, Polka Dot Man supposedly dies, and there's a file they have to retrieve. It looks like no one's leaving this film in one piece. And seeing there's a flashpoint, it kind of doesn't matter, does it? I think that's why he's been kind of allowed. Dave even, oh, spoilers, I'm out of here. See you all. Well, are they spoilers? I hear so many things about different films all day. Bobcat, Rick is upset because Waller had a hand in creating Starro, so he threatens to leak the files and Peacemaker kills him, and then Bloodsport kills Peacemaker. John, the actress from The Big Bang Theory is the voice of Harley Quinn and the animated series. That's correct, John. Ronnie Dodge Geek had a thought. The Flash movie opening scene could be a young Barry running back and finding his dead mother, and the cuts to him current day, him as a CSI. Yes, well, that's what they do in the animated movie as well. So yeah, that could be the way it plays out. That would be very, very interesting. I think they have cast the young Barry Allen, haven't they? So yes, that could be what it is, Ronnie. That would make things more personal and more focused on Barry. And it's important that movie is focused on Barry because there's a lot of cameos in it, lots of DC characters. You don't want the accusation that Barry isn't the front and center of the movie. So that would be a pretty cool opening, if you ask me. Richie Mo, my phone died, for fuck's sake. I had to go off for 5 minutes. Bobcat, interesting. YouTube is hiding your life from my subscription page. Oh dear. What's going on? Oh no, I can see me, yeah. I'm there. Ronnie Dodge Geek, yeah, there is a young actor playing young Barry. Awesome, innit? That's what we want. Ronnie Dodge Geek, Ian Lowe is the child's actor's name. Ian Lowe, he must be Welsh. Bobcat, excited for The Flash. Oh, yes, I can't wait for that movie, but it's such a long way off. John, it's a different actor who's playing Barry's dad in the Flash movie. That is correct, John. Scheduling problems came in or something along those lines, so they changed the actor. Unfortunately, I was very frustrated about that at the time. Richie Mo, Bobcat, so Starro isn't an alien. He's made on Earth. Interesting. Bobcat, might just be me. It's weird. Ronnie Dodge Geek, he looks like a young version of Ezra Miller. That's great casting then, isn't it? Remember, Richie Mo, they're just leaks. They could be true. They might not be true. Bobcat, if me and this girl end up dating, I'm going to try to convert her into a DC fan, lol. How easy will that be, though? Oh. Bobcat, yeah, I'm not 100% sure they are true, just things I heard. Bobcat, well, she isn't a Marvel fan either, so a little easier, lol. Does she even like superheroes and comics and all that? Rishimo, a young actor playing a young Barry means we're probably going to see his man being murdered. Yep. We still don't know who the villain is in The Flash. What's your thoughts? Maybe there's not a main villain in the movie. Maybe there is. They're certainly hiding it very well. But then again, they're hiding a lot from that movie. So, look, I would imagine Reverse Flash is involved some point of this movie. So I'm interested how they involve him in the movie. He may be as much of a villain. There's rumors that Michael Keaton's Batman is the villain of this movie, which is an interesting one. But yeah, I kind of suspect there's not a main villain. The villain is the mission to go back to his world, and I think that's the challenge of the movie, isn't it? So maybe not necessarily a main villain in the movie. We will have to wait and see, because there's not really a main villain in the actual Flashpoint graphic novel, is there? Where are we? Right. Bobcat, be right back. Lunch lol. Bobcat message retracted. Windows Geek was thinking, can you imagine the action scenes with Keaton's Batmobile? I'm going to lose it. Yes, can't wait to see that. We haven't seen that old thing in action in ages, so it's going to be very, very exciting to see it. Rishimo, there might not be a villain. It might just be an adventure for Barry to correct the timeline. Either way, I'm excited as F. Yes, I think it's going to be an amazing film, and I think, as I say, the challenge of the movie is to get back home, isn't it? A bit like Back to the Future too. Right, guys, I'm going to give you another 5 minutes. So get your comments in. It's been a very weird stream because I had to go off. So sorry about that. A bit out of sorts today. Rishimo, I hope Keaton's cowl is still the old one, so he does those iconic full body turns. I would imagine they're just going to give him the same costume, obviously, because they want him to look the same. How much action he can do in this movie, I don't know. They'll probably use a body double anyway. Ronnie Dodge Geek, gonna go, mate. Getting dinner. See you tomorrow. Bye bye, Ronnie. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for the support. Rishimo, see you, Ronnie, pal. Yep, see you, Ronnie. See you tomorrow. Be there or be square. Anyone got anything to add before I sign off for the evening? It's just been one of those days today. got a feeling it's going to be like that tomorrow as well. John, which DC villain would you like to see in live action that we have not seen before? Oh, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Do you know what? Because I'm not really a comic book reader. It's although we can look to the animation, Felix Faust. It'd be an interesting one, wouldn't it? So don't forget, everyone, I will be back tomorrow morning for the Movies TV Mad Daily Live from around 9 a.m. UK time. Please check your local times. And I will be back in the evening for a proper, more professional Movies TV Mad Live. It's been a really weird stream with me having to shoot off. Richie Mo, why are people still going on about Amber? Yes, she's in the wrong, but so is Depp. And what happens in someone else's marriage has nothing to do with me. She's a perfect mirror. Listen, people are people. People are very susceptible. It's really about politics. It's really about men versus women. It's all very, very boring to me. I'm happy she's back for the sequel. It won't affect the movie. People are going to come and watch the movie. And these people are wasting their sad little loser times, and that's my opinion. John, I would like to see Clayface in the DCEU. Yeah, Clayface would be awesome. There are actually a lot of good villains in Batman, the Brave and the Bold animated series. If you want any ideas for live action villains we haven't seen in live action, Batman and the Brave and the Bold is the place to go to. What a great animated Batman series. Lots of fun. Great to see Batman and Green Arrow team up as well, and Blue Beetle. Right, everyone, I'm going to sign off. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad, Instagram and TikTok at Movies TV Mad 555. Richie Mo, please will you review your Doom Patrol and the other series you got the other day? Yes, I actually got my DVDs and Blu-rays actually today. So they've actually come now. So I will review Doom Patrol. I can review Doom Patrol Season 1 because I've seen it, although I'll probably need to watch it again just to remember because I have a shit memory. That's why I don't really do kind of catch-ups on episodes or things like that because my memory's rubbish. But what I'll do is, when I get the time, when things calm down around here, we can review a lot of things. I did start reviewing Smallville, then I stopped reviewing Smallville because things have just... so I would like to do more reviews if I can, and we'll see what the future holds. So, yeah, definitely. Rishima, I'd love to see Man-Bat. Man-Bat's great. Yeah, I'd like to see Man-Bat. Man-Bat's so cool, isn't he? Man-Bat, Clayface, Etrigan, the Demon, and Solomon Grundy in a Batman movie. Yeah, Solomon Grundy is really, really good. He was in the Gotham TV show, wasn't he? Wasn't that who Butch became? Yeah, so that was pretty awesome. So I would like to see him in a movie, definitely. Anyway, everyone, I'm going to sign off for now. I'll see you tomorrow for the Movies TV Mad Daily Live. Until then, see you later. Have a good evening. And remember, whatever you do, don't get caught. See you later, and thank you very much. John, see you tomorrow, Mick. See you tomorrow, John. Thanks for the comments and the support. Rishima, hopefully I can get Smallville next week so I can watch them as you review them. Good idea. Good idea. I've reviewed the first 2 episodes thus far. The next one will be episode 3 of season 1. That one's called Hothead, which I find freaking ridiculous and hilarious. And we'll talk about that one when I get the time to re-watch it. Until then, everyone, see you later. Goodbye.